categories that I listed, some had taken place at that time, some had not. Drug enforcement, disaster relief like for hurricanes and floods, security at national events, environmental disaster cleanup, substitute teachers in public schools, community assistance programs like landscaping, environmental cleanup, federal and state prison guards, national emergency police force, advisors to SWAT units, the FBI, Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms, Border Patrol, and I asked them, do you feel under these particular scenarios whether or not you would strongly disagree, agree, strongly agree, or have no opinion? Well, out of this first set of questions, the ones that bothered me the most was that over 85% said that they would be part of a national emergency police force. Okay, Posse Comitatus Act, 1878. Well, right at 72% wanted to be advisors to SWAT units. 3 weeks ago, I saw a very disturbing video where they were proudly displaying the action of Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts, 16-year-olds dressed in SWAT uniforms attacking a compound, and the scenario was that inside this building is a disgruntled, returned Iraq veteran. Homeland Security report that they put out recently, most of us folks sitting here are terrorists. I am. I meet almost all the criteria. Sorry about your luck. Okay, so as the scenario moved forward, though, to where it was UN control on foreign land, they started pulling away from it. But you see, here's the whole gist of it and what I was after. Peacekeeping and UN operational control, a study of their effect on unit cohesion. I think even a fifth grader would agree that if 1/5 of your unit disagreed with you fundamentally, you don't have unit cohesion. You don't have unit cohesion. And unit cohesion is the singular most vital element of a unit's survival and success in carrying out a mission in combat. So I wanted to tried to come up with a question that would encapsulate all of these elements, these contributing factors that have happened over time, you know, because now in 1994, we've got a group of kids in there that are the product of this National Education Association, Rockefeller / United Nations education system. So, I finally came up with the question, and it was question 45. That's not the famous one or infamous one that I'm going to get to, but y'all will recognize that one. When I joined up and volunteered in 1972, the Eisenhower oath was still in there, and specifically Article 1 of the Code of Conduct. I'm an American fighting man. I serve in the forces which guard my country and our way of life. I'm prepared to give my life in their defense. So I modified that a little bit. I would swear to the following code. I am a United Nations fighting person. I serve in the forces which maintain world peace and every nation's way of life. I am prepared to give my life in their defense. 23.66% said, yep, I'll swear to that code. Where's the red flags? How is this happening? Well, it's not just happening. It's happened. Okay? So, I'd say that's quite a rift in unit cohesion right there. The next question, again, the Clintons' assault weapons ban was going on at the time and became enacted in 1994, about the time I conducted this survey, May 10th, 1994. And as stated in here, the U.S. government declares a ban on the possession, sale, transportation, and transfer of all non-sporting firearms. A 30-day amnesty period is permitted for these firearms to be turned over to the local authorities. At the end of this period, a number of citizen groups refuse to turn over their firearms. Consider the following statement. I would fire on U.S. citizens who refuse or resist the confiscation of firearms banned by the U.S. government. 26.34% said they would. Snapshot in time. Now, that particular question and the survey was just put an X in the block. There were a lot of comments that were written on the side, and one particular NCO came up to me and said, "Sir, with all due respect, that's the last order that an officer would ever give me." All right. Here it is 15 years later. Are things better? Are they the same? Are they worse? Congress is the sole authority of the declaration of war. As Commander-in-Chief, you don't have the authority to declare war on activities. The only time you're Commander-in-Chief by the Constitution is when Congress declares war and they flip the wall switch and says, okay, Commander-in-Chief. Other than that, you're just President. We do not serve an earthly king. We serve a risen Savior. We are experiencing times now where people are afraid to even mention the word Jesus Christ. Military chaplains, I confirmed in 1998, said they weren't allowed to use that name in their prayers publicly. Well, it was just a couple of months ago that those military chaplains over in Afghanistan gathered up those Bibles and burned them.